Hey guys, welcome back to Flight Simulator here on the flight deck. I'm your pilot Keith. Today we're going to be doing an evening flight from Vancouver down to Portland, Oregon. So we're here at our ramp in Vancouver. Beautiful evening here, clouds are clearing up. Why do you say we get on board and let's get going. Okay, first thing we're going to do, close the door. And pull all the pitot covers and chocks and other things. And then we are going to... is that door closing? Yes, door is closed. Then we're going to throw the parking brake on. Head up overhead. No ground power unit attached. So we are going to do a APU start. So we'll get the battery going. And we'll fire up that APU. And we can see a little bit of fuel flow going. She's starting to fire up. Turn off those switches. And when it gets to 100%, we'll kick over onto the generator. There we go. And APU generator is now on, and APU hydraulics are on. Excellent. So we'll turn the lights on inside here. And we'll put on the overhead. And we're going to kick on the dome light. So give us some light inside here. Get all the other lights armed so that we're good to go. Throw on the logo light. We can now move down here and get the ILS set up. Throw on some floor. Oh, and we'll go over here and turn on the avionics. So everything is starting to warm up. We can put in our flight plan. Fairly simple flight today. It's just over an hour. So we'll head over here to the FMS. Go into our flight plan. So we are flying from Vancouver, CYVR, to Portland, Oregon, KPDX. Our alternate today is KPFI. And we can start entering our originating runway. We are departing on runway 26 left. Take it? No, you're not gonna take it. That's fine. So we're going via the CYVR VOR to the Seattle VOR, and that's it. That is our flight plan. Now, it's going to be a little bit more than that. We have our departure and arrival to put in. So our departure, we're departing off runway 26 left. And we are not doing a departure. We're just going to extend out a few miles and then make our turn. So that is fine. So if we go back to our legs, it's fine. We can then go to our arrival. Now our arrival is going to be into runway 28 left. It is going to be via the Helens 5 VOR, and we're going to transition at Schaefer. Now we're going to add a couple of points in here. We're going to add a waypoint of I think I remember the spelling right. B-O-Z-O. Bozo. And that's going to go before Schaefer. So 29 miles, that's correct. And then before Schaefer again is going to be the VOR BTG. 26, and then it'll be 26. Correct. Now Seattle is going to be 35,000. This is where what I've started to learn. It's not adjusting altitudes; it's leaving them as they're set. So if you pick a waypoint that's close that has an enforced altitude restriction, it won't make changes. I did one practice flight where I had almost a 6,000 foot descent to make the altitude, and well, good for the space shuttle, not good for any passengers. So we're going to set that at, it's going to be 25,000. Buzzwell. Our flight level today is only 31,000, so that's going to be Seattle. Vancouver is going to be above 5,000. So that's what we do it. Okay, put 5,000. 5,000 through 25,000, and BTG should be 10,000, and then we see 65 or 67, 63, 37, 29, and that's what we want. So that is pretty much set. We go to a little bit of performance stuff. That's all fine. But we can go back here to our legs page, and there's our flight plan showing up on the screen. A couple things we're going to do here. We're going to go through our references, and we're going to go to that mode. We're going to go into nav mode. We're going to go into VOR, and we're going to set this now. Little things I'm picking up on as we learn the airplane. So this is going to be 283. That's our runway heading. So I'll explain a little bit more about this as we climb it. And I'm going to go back into FMS mode, and of course when we click over, 283 will be in there for our course, and we will be good. For our heading, we're taking off around 26, so we're going to set this to 260. There we go. For our initial head out. So I've been learning a little bit about some of this stuff. VNav, I have found that it doesn't handle the climb very well, so it's best to once you get to the top of climb, we'll engage it, and it will handle the descent as long as you monitor. So we'll use vertical speed for the climb. We'll go nav mode to get there following the waypoints. This will come off when we get locked into our approach, and I think that's what prevented me last time, is this was still on, it wouldn't trigger the approach. That's fine. We learn as we go. So I think we're ready to fire this thing up, so let me just put away a couple things and we'll go to engine start. Alright, so we're over here at the side panel. Everything's good, nav's aligned, we're all good there. Just going to throw on the auto skid here, make sure that she's ready to go. All that is good. Standby hydraulics. We'll leave off at the moment. Everything else is ready to start. So up to the overhead, we have the generators running. Throw on these. Come down. Yep. You're going, so you're set. You're all armed. Put the air on. And we're good. So engine number 2. Engine number 2, we have N2 increasing. You can hear it in the background there. 20% will open the fuel valve. There we go. Engine is stabilizing. Leaks horribly when it fires up. Not sure why it's doing that particularly. Good start. Let's go to engine number 3. Into rising.
Altitude 2, proceed onto runway 13, hold short of runway 26 on.
And fuel valve is open.
Altitude 2, cross runway 26 off via runway 13.
Good start. And engine number 1. $14, 18, and fuel valve is open. All right. So make sure everything else is on. Turn on our generators. Switch over to generators. APU's off. We'll come down here. Turn off the APU. It's now spooling down. We'll go our lights on. Our taxi light on. Pitos are coming up. We're not going to need the anti-ice today, I think. We'll be fine. Air is on. It's on cabin control, which is fine. And all our hydraulics and isolation valves are on.
Altitude 2, are you going to go to Charlie or all
here.
the way down to
No reds. Standby hydraulics go to auto. Anti-skid is on. Everything seems to be set.
Delta Yank down 1187.
And is looking good. We'll kill the dome light.
Roger.
And do I want to put the clear shield on? Let's take a look. Whoa! I think we're get that one off. All right. I think it's time to taxi. We're taxiing down runway 26 left, which isn't far. It's just off to our left here. So once again, this is FSDreamteam's Vancouver CYVR. All lit up here at night. So we'll set our altimeter. 2981 is our current barometer here in Vancouver. 2981 is set. So the only thing I find about this airplane is once the autopilot is on and you are flying, you really have to monitor your airspeed. There is no auto throttle, so everything has to be watched. She can creep on you. If you're not paying attention, she can get away from you fairly quickly.
Russia 451 ground taxi.
Especially with angle changes with the FMS running the descent profile but no speed control. You got to keep an eye on that one. It's a little quick. Looks like we got an airliner ahead of us turning onto the runway.
So taxi via Lima to the apron for Western 451. Okay, Lima to the apron.
So we're going to come up here. Wait for him to go. Again, this is the generic in-game airlines. If anyone has any recommendations for a good third-party AI aircraft program, let me know. So let's go overhead, make sure everything is good to go. They're all on. We're on generators. They're on. They're all off. APU master is now off. Lights are on. Nav. Landing lights are on. Taxi light is off. They are armed. Set. They're off. They're on. Everything seems to be set and ready to go. Take a look at our annunciator panel. She is all red. What we do have to do is flaps for takeoff. There she goes. So we're going to do a lineup and wait. See the little disjointed taxiway lines there. These are sometimes little artifacts you get with add-on airports and stuff like that. They're overlaying the other airports and don't remove everything, and they don't perfectly line up 100% all the time. As you can see, that runway sign just sitting right where we've got a taxi. But that's fine, I'll ignore it. It's a small price to pay for everything else looking so beautiful. He's climbing out, making a turn to the south. I'm going to hold here. There's an aircraft, looks like he's going to cross the runway. One thing I can't do, and I haven't figured out a good way of doing it, is outside shots for a lot of this. So I've taken a look at the flight recorder in Prepared, and it can act funny sometimes and stuff, so I'm not really using it. But if anyone has any suggestions to go back and get change camera views and take a look at outside shots, or if there's anything better out there, it would be great. All right. So he's through. We are on the runway. We're going to come over here. We're going to be going in vertical speed mode. We will go into nav mode when we're in the air. The vertical speed will be 2,200 feet per minute. Is going to be our climb. Okay, he's now clear. There we go. So let's get out of here. Let's, brakes on. We'll spool the engines up. Get them stabilized. Make sure everything is still good. Look at our panel, still all clear. And away we go. Airspeed is alive.
This goes 4639. Ground taxi via.
Winds are almost on the nose, 13 knots.
13, and then Delta, hold short of hotel.
V1. Rotate.
Roger.
You got to haul back quite a bit to get her up and going. Positive rate. Gear up. Gear is moving. We're climbing out. We'll go. Autopilot is on. And we'll start making our turn out now. Our speed's coming up, so we will come up, and then we will come up.
Encore 3295, clear correct taxi pass.
So we're making a pretty quick turn off of the runway, which is fine. We're heading to the CYVR VOR. Gets us out of the way there so that any other aircraft that are flying in and out can do their thing. We are pretty nimble as a small business jet. So we're going to come back on our speed. We don't want to overspeed here. Keep it below 250.
Canada 855, okay, for the time being, no speed restrictions for now.
240 should do. And we're now heading for the CYVR VOR. There's another airport there off our left side. But it is a beautiful night there, downtown Vancouver. Looking gorgeous. Thin cloud layer there as we pass through 4,000 feet.
West at 211 Vancouver, have a good afternoon. No speed restrictions. Descend on the Carenado.
Aircraft is cleaned up.
26 right approach. Saddle 625.
And we're now heading to the Seattle VOR and on our climb out. So 10,000, we'll turn off the seatbelt sign, shut off the landing gear lights, or the landing lights. 18,000, we go on standard pressure. I'll just check the overhead. Everything seems to be looking very good. No issues there. And the aircraft is climbing well. And she's cleaned up, and we are going up at 22 feet per minute. So we'll set our altitude here to flight level 31. And we are in altitude select. So that's where we're going to level out. See, our flight plan has taken us up to 31,000 feet as well for our cruise. So I was playing around with the FMS in this airplane, and I'm going to leave our view here just so I can monitor the airspeed, because I found it does get away from me a little bit. And definitely the vertical nav is a bit of an issue. So I found the easiest thing to do was just fly up to cruise level on vertical speed mode, then engage vertical nav for the descent. And like I was entering when the flight plan, entering those altitudes in, you do have to do some manual adjustments because it's not doing that planning on its own, which is fine. You just got to bear that in mind when you get there. The other thing is to make sure that you hit the proper switches and turn things off, such as the VNAV, before you engage the approach system for when you come in for a landing. Something you do have to bear in mind. So you can see our speed slowing down as we go up. The higher we get, the more power we need.
Good afternoon, identified, climb 167.
Just going to keep nudging the power forward as we go. So there's 10,000 feet. There we go there. So we're going to come over here. We're going to turn off landing lights. Taxi lights off. Wing lights are on. Everything else is on. That's fine. We'll turn off that one. They can get a cocktail and whatever else they want in the back there. Beautiful night out. And they can enjoy themselves. We're going to keep the climb going, and I will see you at 31. Actually, I'll see you at 18,000 feet. And We'll see you then. So there we are, 18,000 feet. Once again, we'll do a check there. Everything's good. I'm going to drop us down to an 1,800 foot per minute climb, just to ease things out in the back a little bit for the people. I will make it, yeah, we'll make it 1,800. And we'll switch over to standard on the barometer. So is everyone getting hyped over the new Microsoft Flight Simulator? The recent videos, the stunning views. I mean, the cities in the last one where they showed the airplane flying over and they kept switching the views underneath. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing game. Sorry, not a game, simulator. And then the aircraft, there was the CRJ, I believe, was in that video first time it was seen. And then the 747. Holy cow. And then you key that one in with the information on PMDG's website that they were basically focusing everything they have from this point forward on the new flight sim. We're going to see a lot of like PMDG level aircraft. I mean, they're going to port all their aircraft. Where they got the 737, a couple different models. The PMDG also has the 777, the 747. I think a DC-6 as well. That'll be incredible. Seeing all that stuff in there, and then having a chance to fly those and that. Wow, it's going to be amazing. Really, really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, even without specs being released, I know, I'm just looking at my computer right now, it's going to have to go. Probably in the, I'm assuming in the fall is when this game is going to come out, towards the end of 2020. Again, game. It's so not a game. End of 2020. So probably in the fall, I'm going to have to spec out a new system and get it up and running, because the video card I have, I think it's a 960 in the machine I have right now. I mean, you can see in this game it's not quite there. Even the way I've got it set up now here and prepared, it's not quite able to handle things. And I am nowhere near high-end resolution settings on a lot of stuff. Especially my ORBEX settings are down fairly low, just because it can't run them. It's too much for this thing. So yeah, new processor, more gig, better video card, definitely. But it's exciting. It's something to look forward to. It should be pretty awesome. Anyway, we're passing through 24,000 feet, and we'll see you. Well, we're gonna get to the climb. We'll level off in the climb, but I'll see you in the as we get ready to start our descent into Portland. I'll leave you with some views of the Carenado Dassault Falcon 50 XEX. beginning our descent. I've had some problems with the nav system following the FMS, so I'm going to do this a little bit unconventionally. I'm basically going to run this through my heading indicator and vertical airspeed, and I'm going to use that to control the autopilot. As you can see, the FMS is still pointing towards the Seattle VOR, but the actual Seattle VOR is right behind us, and the arrow is pointing off to the right, so I don't know what's going on there. So we're just going to ignore that, and we're going to do this and fly it this way to get us into where we have to go. So right now we're heading towards the Helms waypoint, which is on this heading, and we're also descending at about 1,200 feet per minute. We want to hit 10,000 feet when we get to the BTG. VOR. So 20,000 feet to go. I'm going to increase this to 1,800. It's the other way.
One Golf Echo, climb maintains 8,000.
Climb 8,000. One Golf Echo.
And I'm going to watch. I know the Helens usually has a 12,000 foot level, so we want to make sure we're at or just above 12,000 feet at Helens.
26.9, South 3770.
Good day.
And then we're going to watch the speed. I'm going to bring the speed back just so we're not rushing as we go. Bring it back to about 300
Station 1 Golf Echo.
nautical miles an hour.
120, enable direct bend, climb maintain 10,000.
Okay, thanks. Up to 12,000.
So after Battleground, the next one is Schaefer, and that's at 6,700, so we'll aim for that.
Center 128.15.
28.15, Southwest 1473, good night.
Sure.
So I'm not sure what's going on with the FMS.
Maintain 7,000.
You can see it's kind of stuck in the display. There's no way to reset it.
Southwest 3770.
So I'm kind of ignoring it. I know it's not the best thing to do, but we got to fly the airplane. And there's, if the primary system isn't working, there are ways around it.
FedEx 349 heavy, contact approach 126.9.
I'm gonna throttles back a little bit more.
Skywest 3420, turn right direct Craig.
Direct Craig, Skywest 3420.
Attention all aircraft, phone information, kilo, current phone altimeter 29901.
So the other reason I'm doing these videos is to record my flights. I want to be able to see my progress, how I'm doing with the aircraft, what's going on. So it's a good way to log my flights in the airplane as well.
10,000, rise 2401.
Plus, seriously, any tips that can be given in general or specific to the aircraft would be great.
And Skywest 3420 requesting 16,000 for a final.
Skywest 3420, roger, I'll forward the information center.
Thanks.
201.
So we're doing all right. I'm going to increase it to 2,000 feet per minute.
Bravo Mike, get a 43.
Come on, one more click. There we go.
Team 55 Bravo Mike, phone approach, expect runway 28 right.
Speed's around 300, looking good.
Skywest 3420, contact Seattle Center 128.3.
28.3, Skywest 3420, good day.
Good day.
Correct, resident 2405 is descending on the hood 4. We have Juliet.
Horizon 2405, phone approach, expect runway 28 left.
Alright, 28 left, and we're leaving 12,000 now, Horizon 2405.
Thank you.
22,500 or 700?
14,000, Golf Echo.
Number 1658 Charlie, pulling approach, roger, advise on information echo, expect RNAV approach, right to run left.
So again, it's a very, very dark night out, as you can see. Not a lot to see outside. So we're gonna stick to the inside view here.
8,000, right, 83 Alpha.
Citation 1 Golf Echo, climb maintain 15, 15,000, contact Seattle Center 128.15.
Yep, the 15 and 2815 on the frequency. Good day.
Seattle Center, each November 7246 KRX 10 miles northwest of
Present 83 Alpha, turn left turn, heading 180.
180, right, 83 Alpha.
Well, I was not expecting that.
Horizon 2405, clear Canada, descend and maintain 7,000.
Alright, direct Hannah down to 7,000, horizon 2405. 302, Alpha.
Let's have them be quiet.
15,000. Yes, sir, 15,000, res 2401.
So that's us through 20,000 feet. We don't have any weather for Portland as of yet.
126.9er.
Say again, horizon 2405.
Horizon 2405, approach on 126.9er.
126.9.
That's fine. We'll leave it on standard at the moment. We'll get it when we're a little bit closer.
approach left, 655 out of 12,000.
Alright, so we're coming up to the Helens viewer. We're going to head at about 195 from here. So we'll change that to a 195. You can see it there on the map. Something like that. Will take us toward it. We're still high. Kill the throttles a bit more. We'll increase our descent to 2,400.
2563 is 1,800 climbing.
High is good, but we don't want to be too high.
63 point departure, radar contact, climbing 15,000.
Limited 15,000.
Start cranking that speed down a bit. Alright, so the route's there. As we're coming down, we'll increase our decrease our range a little bit. Go to 20 miles on the display. Alright, speed's coming down. We'll bring her down to about 250 and hold her there. Maybe about 2,000 feet. 14,000 feet over crater.
Left truck mini res 2563.
Start to see a little bit of. Yeah, there's the cloud deck. And here comes 250 knots. So we'll just add a little bit of power just to keep it in around there.
Oscar 655, contact approach 126.9er.
Somewhere in that area there. 15 with 0, 2401.
And as I said, the next one we're going to want is 6,700. And in order to keep from having to look down again, I'm going to throw the landing lights on now. Standard nav lights. And just tell everybody, get seated, folks.
Altitude.
Stream 5 Bravo, my contact 126.
All right.
190.
So as we level, the speed is going to start to bleed off.
GPS 2992 heavy is with you, 11.6%.
Come up on the power.
GPS 2992 heavy, 4 on approach. Advise with kilo.
Try to match it.
Call altimeters 29901,
Keep
plan
the
near LS,
airspeed
runway
up.
2 left.
Left with kilo for GPS 2992.
There we go. So we're at altitude early. I'm about 12 miles out to BTG.
Six 3034 heavy, 4 on approach. Plan the LS, runway 2 left.
All right, the weather is looking good.
128.15. Sergeant 2563, contact Shuttle Center 125.8. 25 meter, 2563.
So the kernel altimeter is 2988, so we'll adjust that. 2988. Clouds, it's overcast at 3,600 feet. So our next altitude we're shooting for is 6,700. So we'll set this to 6,700.
Departure rise 2995,
come down here
1,500
and
for over 6,000.
Go to our next page so we know what the next one's going to be.
President 2095, departure radar contact, 1715,000.
Up to 15,000.
All right, so I think we can make our turn now. So we're going to turn basically 120 degrees. There we go. And we'll start our descent to 6,700. And again, we'll watch that airspeed. We don't want it to creep up. Change this to
38 with you at 1,500, climbing via the Whammy 4.
United 1938, full departure radar contact, climbing 15,000.
Climb the 15,000, United 1938.
Go 108. 108 degrees, coming down to 6,700. You can see we're picking up the system, the ILS system.
63034
And
heavy.
again, we've got lots of cloud out there.
Okay, down to 7,000 direct Canada.
So we're going to stay in the cockpit. 8300.
United 1938, turn left, clear direct whammy.
Left turn direct whammy, United 1938. Portland approach, horizon 2497, just starting down from 17,000, descending via, and we have Kilo.
Horizon 2497, Port 1 approach. 50 ILS runway 28 left.
You see there's a localizer 110.50, course 283 IJMJ, 8.1 nautical miles.
Just a moment. Okay, I found this on the web.
Wow. I don't know why my phone picked... Oh, we're in the clouds. I don't know why my phone picked up on that. That was interesting, unexpected. So we're going to just change our heading a little bit more.
Approach, Roger. Clear direct Aurora. Descend pilot discretion, maintain 10, 10,000.
We're going to go due east from here. And we're skimming the tops of the clouds now.
And if I think you did say Sierra. Okay, also affirmative, and just verify with information Sierra.
Departure South 2053, 2000, climbing to maintain 7,000 on the Mini 5 RNAV departure.
That was 2053, point departure.
There's 6700 coming in.
2,300, climbing to maintain 7,000 on the Mini 5 RNAV departure.
That was 2053, very good. Climb, maintain 1.
And we're going to set our final one,
Maintain 15, 15,000, South 2053.
which is 2900.
3034, heavy descent, maintain.
And that will be for when we start making our turn. It's just going to be a continual descent, and I'll watch the altitude for our waypoints just to make sure we're not going down too fast. We got a speed limit of 210 at Schaefer, which is where we're headed. So we're gonna slow that up. We're gonna go in on the range.
President 2095, contact Seattle Center 125.8.
There we go.
Yeah, 2095.
Keep it about 200.
Contact Seattle Center 125.8.
25.8, horizon 2095 here.
United 1938, contact Seattle Center 128.15.
128.15, United 1938.
That was 2053, turn left, clear direct.
So the airport, as you can see on the display, the airport's on the other side of the river. We're going to cross the river ahead, and then we're going to make a series of right-hand turns, which will bring us around and line us up on the runway.
Archer Sky 3394 is 1,500, climbing 7,000.
That was 3394, full departure, radar contact, climbing 15,000.
I maintain 15,000, Sky 3394.
Let's take you up to about 100 degrees. There we go. So you see the glide slope is starting, it's picking it up, which is good. A little bit of turbulence here in the cloud. Watch the airspeed. Keep it around 200.
Yeah, 2055, full approach, expression weight 28 right. 28 right.
Schaefer, they want us at 6,700, so we're not going to do anything until we get there. And then I'm going to put it into a right turn of about 210 degrees. I'll start about a 1,500 foot per minute descent. And then we'll fine tune our course. We should be good. So,
United 2055, maintain 10, 10,000.
here is Schaefer coming up.
Bravo 2053, contact Seattle Center 125.8.
So let's go to 210. We're going to begin our descent. I'm going to give you my display. 1,500
Contact 3425, one departure flight, maintain
feet
12,000.
per minute.
Land at 12,000.
And again, we'll watch the airspeeds. Come back on the throttles.
Horizon 2497, contact approach 126.9.
26.9er, good day. Horizon 2497.
Yeah.
Departure Southern 2053 is back with you. No joy on 25.8.
We're going to need a bit more. We're going to have to go to about there
Southwest 2053,
to get to ready.
125.8.
48, Southwest 2053.
Tango up, South.
Alright, we're descending a little fast. So I'm going to go over here and bring us up to about 800 or 700 feet per minute. So we're still going down rather fast. So we'll go to 500.
Maintain 8,000. 8,000.
500 it is.
Evening, Portland departure, Alaska 1552, 1.6.
We're going to head to Hipster now.
Alaska 1552, phone departure radar contact, maintain 15,000.
Maintain 15,000, Alaska.
So we'll begin that turn.
Contact 3425, climb maintain 15,000.
Climb at 15,000.
Thank you.
So something along those lines there.
2,500.
So we're 2,500 feet up off the ground. Watch our airspeed.
Golf Echo, get in.
I'm going to start with the first level of slats. You can hear them moving. Speed's going to start coming down, so we'll come up on the power a little bit. I want to keep it about here.
Got 3421
Should go with the second level as well.
2 mile final, another way.
Set for takeoff, 28 left. Sky was 3420.
That's going to add some flap in. You can see the glide slope has come back in. Looking good so far.
Prisoner 2401, Portland Tower, only 2 left.
As soon as we get movement on the localizer,
2401.
I'll engage the approach. There we go. We got movement. Approach mode is activated. Start coming. There we are. Out of the clouds. Oh, at the bottom of the clouds. Pretty close. I thought there's 3,600. We were 4,000.
Heavy turn left at Echo, contact ground point 9.
Echo point 9, GPS 2970.
Got 3420, contact departure, good night.
Altitude.
Just the rest of the flaps, and there goes the gear.
Tower Alaska 1625.
Speed's coming down.
Got 1625, Portland Tower, stand by.
And that should be the runway ahead of us.
2401, wind column, left heading 240, runway 28 left, clear takeoff.
So we're going to watch our approach speed and our landing speed. We can see them approaching. So we'll let the aircraft slow. She's lining up the runway.
Portland Tower, runway 28 left, line up weight, traffic 5.5 mile final.
Line up 28 left, 83 Alpha.
Alaska 1625, wind calm, runway 28 left.
Slowly coming into our approach speed.
Clear to land, Alaska 1625.
Just let her bleed off slightly.
Wind calm, runway 28 right, clear to
A
land.
little bit more.
28 right, clear to land, Capital City 681.
Beautiful view of downtown Portland here at night. There we go, about 130 knots. Looking very nice out there. Still descending down to 2,900.
Touchdown aircraft, Portland formation, Kilo now, current wind calm, Portland altimeter 29901. Prisoner 2401, contact departure.
Departure with CYYZ 2401.
Prisoner 83 Alpha, Portland Tower, wind calm,
We
flight
are
heading
vertical down
280.
to 300, and that should allow it to capture
Take up 28 left, 280.
the glide slope. Looks like we got another aircraft ahead of us.
Tower compass 5681, can you just confirm we're clear to land 28 right?
Cause 86818 from this.
Thank you.
There's 2,900 feet.
Turn left at
Everything is down.
Contact ground 121.8.
And
Alpha 6, flight 9 Delta 1454.
lights are down 3 green, and we're on the descent. Throttles. Looks like somebody just cut in front of us. Hopefully he gets out of the way.
Prisoner 83 Alpha, turn left heading 240.
So to be honest, this is my 3rd attempt at this flight, and I am not going to do it again. It's like, oh, he's going over onto the other one. He's going on to, looks like 28 right. We're here on 28 left.
2563 Portland Tower, runway 28 left, line up weight.
28 left, line up 28 right.
Airspeed is good.
Prisoner 83 Alpha, heading 240, contact
It's like a nice night in Portland. Temperature's about 12 degrees. So we are stabilized.
Alaska 1625,
Looking good.
or runway 21, contact ground point 9.
Radar Echo, point 9 or Alaska.
Now hopefully I don't have that issue I had last time when I disconnected the autopilot and it just kind of rolled over on me. We'll see what happens.
Prisoner 2563, wind calm, runway 28 left, clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff 28 left, first 2563.
Okay, we're slightly below our approach speed, which is fine. I can't tell if there's an airplane on the runway or not. Seeing flashing lights, but I don't know what that means.
Cover 5681, turn left at Alpha 6, contact ground 121.9.
Alpha 6.9, cover 5681.
Oh, they went away.
$1,000.
1,000 feet to go.
Prisoner President 2563, contact port.
President 2563, good day.
Almost no wind.
Follow departure S9 2563.
Yeah, I'm seeing something there.
7,000.
President 2563.
But, he's going to have to give way to me.
Approach 118.1. Have a good day.
Sorry, see you.
No, looks clear. He's turning off. It'll be close, but he's turning off. Okay. So I did see an airplane there. Not sure if you can make it out on the screen, but he was turning off. You can see him there off to the right. So here we go. At minimums, I'll shut off the autopilot, and we'll see what happens. Autopilot's off. Hey, we're nice and stable.
3770 Portland.
So I think I know what was causing the issue.
3 safe flight conditions. Reference the bases when able. Runway 2 left, clear to land.
The base is probably around
100 feet. Flare.
Southwest 3770, thank you.
And we're down. Reverser's moving. Beautiful. We're going to exit up here at F, if we can. No, we can't. So we'll go down to E. A little off to the left, well, that's fine. So we're going to exit here at E, we'll clean up the airplane, and we'll get a parking spot. And we'll see where we're going. Alrighty, so that's us clear. So we will engage that. We'll go to the overhead. The landing lights will come off. That will come on. We will fire up the APU.
Sky 53 Bravo, right on Echo.
And we will call for parking. Alright, parking is behind us. We'll start retracting the slats and flaps. We're going to taxi down Charlie. We're going to take Foxtrot and we're going to cross back over the runway. Beautiful looking airport. There's the tower over there with its rotating beacon.
Ground height 2563, taxi Juliet.
2563, runway 28 left.
Not seeing any aircraft on the
Tango,
approach.
Bravo 3 Bravo.
Tango Bravo C Bravo to 28 left, 2563.
So we're going to turn here at F.
LS 3353, taxi to the gate via Mike Tango, behind Embraer, heads all right.
Mike Tango to the gate, 3353.
And then we will make our way across. The runway. We're going to backtrack slightly and then take B5.
One Echo, we're calling for the spot.
PS 2974 line ground, roger, taxi on Echo.
Is right.
Alright, taxi on Echo, we'll advise PS 2970.
Here. Bit of a tight turn.
Portland ground rise 2095, Charlie 20 Alpha, push India.
And then we're going to taxi down Bravo.
Horizon 2095, Portland ground, pushback approved, runway 28 left.
Not sure where they're taking us. I think it's an American Airlines jet sitting there in the terminal there. Didn't quite see it fully. Go down here. Yeah, we're cleaned up there.
2655. Horizon 2655 ground.
Yeah, so 2655.
So they're parking us down at
Bravo, but they're not quite ready for us.
Right, Horizon 2355, roger.
Will it be the north side at the airfield?
22 Bravo is open, gate now in sight.
It is open, we're just waiting for
At
ground
the
crew.
east end.
I'll have your taxi instructions momentarily.
Which is fine.
And ground, 2970, we're going in at Echo 4.
Keep this 2970 heavy, taxi gate via Echo 4.
Or taxi via Echo 4, 2970 heavy taxi.
Just looking at my airport chart. It's not too far, it's just down here. We're going to, the end of Bravo here, we're going to turn to the left, and it's the first stall. That information being provided by the AivlaSoft electronic flight book. A search for general aviation parking, and this is the one I got.
Your right and taxi the gate via Echo 2 Tango, enable behind him.
So we're going to turn in here.
2355.
And then we're going to head this way, and it'll be the first one.
1454 Portland ground, taxi the gate via Alpha 6.
There's about, was there 5 of them here? There we go. It's our home for the night. Or until the boss wants to fly somewhere else, anyway.
Echo 1, Juliet.
2 miles south of Vancouver Lake, heading to the northwest.
There we go.
This ground horizon there, 2355, we can't make up our mind. We are now going to Charlie 20 Alpha again.
And we'll start our shutdown. So let's turn some lights on in here so we can see what we're doing.
Taxi the gate when able behind company via Tango.
Parking brake is set. We're on there, so we're going to switch over to the APU for power. And we'll put the APU hydraulics on. We'll shut the rest of them off. Come down here.
Portland ground rise 2095.
Shut off the engines. There we go.
Taxi, Kilo.
295, Portland ground right to left, taxi via Tango.
So we have power in the back. We're going to come outside. We will ask them to
2095.
some static elements and the passenger door.
1625 is clear. Charlie 7.
And yes, I know. They're all upset.
1625 Portland ground, taxi the gate via Bravo.
And now we can continue shutting down the aircraft.
And you're right on Tango.
I don't need to start an engine.
Bravo 3 Tango.
We are good. So you can now go over to battery, and you can go to battery. We will shut down the hydraulics. We will shut down the isolation valves. The air will come off. There we go. And you're off, and you can go off. You guys can all get off my airplane now. We'll shut you down, we'll shut you down. You come off. Oop. You come off.
2095. Was that Tango Bravo all the way down there?
You can shut down as well.
Horizon 2095, affirmative, Tango, and you can join Bravo 6.
You can go
Bravo 6, right? 2095.
Off mode.
Here's the traffic, Cessna 678 on the north shore of Vancouver, departing to the northwest.
Yeah, everything is going nuts because everything is shut off. And we can kill the power to the aircraft. Ooh, there we go. And that is our flight. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.